I'm interested in the phenomena of levitation, for example, and there's the famous case of Saint Teresa of Avila who would levitate. Now, that in itself would not be a mystical experience, because a psychical researcher would say, oh, she's levitating, we must measure how high she goes and how far she moves. And so I accept that is not a mystical phenomenon itself. But Saint Teresa herself was having a mystical experience. So for her, she was in an ecstatic state. So there was a link between mystical and psychic.
Mystical? Why is being ecstatic mystical?
Well, I have no experience of mystical experience myself.
So let me come to that.
Yep.
See, right now, recently some journalist is asking me, Sadhguru, if there's one achievement in your life, what is it? I said, tears. So what do you mean by tears? I said, every day, millions of people, if they close their eyes, tears of ecstasy are washing their cheeks. This is the only achievement I have, rest is all circus. Rest is circus only in the world. You have to do circus to get people attracted to that process. So, being ecstatic happens if you stop creating unpleasantness within you. When I say unpleasantness, you sit here and think, oh, what is she doing? She's writing down, what's she doing? Will she get it right? I don't think she'll get it right. This is a genuine opinion. Does she understand what I'm talking? Is he okay? Is that this? I'm saying these 1,000 things are there. It's not even conscious. These things are multiplying into millions as you grow up. Now, all this muck which you think is your thought process and your emotions and your opinions, especially you're in a university full of opinions, okay? If with all these opinions, you can't see nothing clearly. To just keep down all the opinions that you have, it takes a lot of work. People are around me for 20, 30 years, same people. I don't have a single opinion about them. Only when it comes to work, I have to do something with them, then I have an opinion whether they can do this or not do this. But when I just look at them, I just look at them as they are now. I don't care how they were 10 years ago. I don't care how they were yesterday. When I look at them now, I see them as they are, because this is very important for what I do. Otherwise, oh, this one is possible, this is an enlightenment candidate, this is no good, that is a good one, this has good genetics, that has bad genetics, this is all rubbish. It's got nothing to do. All these things have got something to do with their bodies and minds. I have no business with their body or their mind, for that matter. So they may think loving their guru is a great thing. I think nothing about it, because love is a simple emotion. Even a dog can do it very well, better than you. Hello? We are making a big deal out of it and exporting it to heaven and saying God is love. This is because people have grown up bereft of love. I'll tell you a sample, can I tell you a little situation? I was to speak in Tel Aviv, unfortunately there is a situation there, a few years ago, and I'm flying out of Atlanta. I'm to land there around 11:30 in the morning and speak at 6:30 in the evening. But some delays in the flights and I end up landing there at 6 o'clock in the evening. In these 40 years, I have not been late to a single event, so I don't want to, it's a commitment that I have that I don't go late. So I quickly change in the airport and rushing to the event, and I'm famished because I'm flying an American airline. There's nothing edible. There's nothing edible on that plane.
No, peanuts.
No, not even that. They throw some dog parts at you. Whatever, nothing edible for me. So, whatever these groundnuts, they give you only in the domestic. In the international, it's only dog part in some bread and something. It's just not for me. So I'm super hungry, but I have to be there on time, I rush. And then I find, to my amazement, it never happens to me, I'm speaking at a fine restaurant. This is coherence. The Then I walk in and people are already there, they're greeting me. One man comes up and says, Shalom. I ask him, what does it mean? He says, this is the highest way of greeting. I said, it's all right, that's your opinion, but what does it mean? He says, no, this is the highest way of greeting. I said, all right, what does the word mean? Then he says, it means peace. I said, why is peace the highest way of greeting unless you're born in Middle East? In South India, somebody comes up to me in the morning and says, peace.
Yeah.
I said, what's wrong with you? So I'm saying, anything that you deprive yourself of slowly rises to heaven. You've not seen peace in your life, peace becomes God. You've not seen love in your life, love becomes God. You've not seen blissfulness in your life, bliss becomes God. No, these are all simple human emotions. So if Saint Teresa, if she walked around blissfully, I'm glad for her. Today I can show you, if not millions, at least hundreds and thousands of people who are blissed out, at least for parts of the day. I'm blissed out all the time.
Yeah, but…
So, for me, to simply close my eyes and come to tears is just 2 moments, I'll be there. There are many people like that here and everywhere. So, it's wonderful if that woman walked like that, it's a fantastic thing, because that's how a human being should be. You shouldn't make a saint out of her. She is a wonderful human being. And every human being should be that way. They must walk the streets like this. When they see the flowers in the tree, tears must come. When they see the clouds, tears must come. When they see a child, tears must come. When they close their eyes, tears must come. Tears of love and ecstasy, not tears of misery and pain. So, right now it becomes such a rarity in a given society. Now you suddenly think she's got God going in her. No, she doesn't need God. Human beings are capable of experiencing these things. I'm saying these are all experiences that human beings have. Almost every human being at some point, in a moment of love or joy or something, tears have come to them. It's just that it's not common. If she made it a part of her life, fantastic. But in Eastern societies, there are any number of saints like that who always lived like that. I'm not trying to bring her down. All I'm saying is…
When you say bring it down, you mean from the levitation or from the…
levitation I am not talking about it.
Yep.
I'll leave that, because that's a question of breathing in hydrogen, not oxygen. I'm saying I don't want to bring her down. My work is to raise the humanity, not bring down somebody from the heaven. So unfortunately in those societies, because everybody else is in such a mess, if one human being rises, you think she fell from the top. No, she rose, wonderful for her.
Well, they did make… yeah,
But I'm saying there's nothing mystical about that.
I mean, that's a question
We can
of
say
what,
that is clearly a spiritual experience, let's say.
Oh, spiritual is fine. I mean,
Yes.
the label…
No, because we are trying to draw some distinctions between psychic, spiritual and mystical. So her experience, we can put it clearly in the category of a spiritual experience.
That is fine, because that's a question of semantics and…
No, these are not semantics, these are clear distinctions in experience. See, when you look at it from outside intellectually, it amounts to semantics. In terms of experience, what happens in my body is physical, what happens in my mind is mental, what happens in my emotions is emotional, what happens in my spirit is spiritual, is distinctly there, nobody can question that. Because somebody is questioning it from outside, because they can't see it. If somebody is shedding tears out of love, we can sit here and think, oh, maybe some pain. This is our conclusion. But they may be blissed out with love and tears may be coming out, possible? So, semantic issue comes because we are outside observers to human subjectivity. That'll never work.
Whether she was having a spiritual or a mystical experience, I bow to your knowledge, because
No, I am not saying she did not have a mystical experience, because people observed that she is in tears of ecstasy. That is a spiritual experience. She might have had mystical experiences, which she cannot show to people. How will she show?
But the question I was going to ask was, I was interested in the status of psychic phenomena, because why I'm interested in psychical phenomena is because I see them as making a link between matter and spirituality, between science and spirituality, because in psychical research...
Can I do this? Because this is there, in between.
Yes.
They have broke it for some reason. They didn't want the tail and the head to come together. Whoever made it. Anyway, see, psychic phenomena is extension of the mind.
Yes.
We can extend our body if we want. Right now we can do a simple experiment, sir, shall we do?
By all means, yeah.
Please sit little spine erect. What we will do is put our hands together like this, and we will vigorously rub these two hands together with eyes closed for, let's say, 30 to 30 seconds, all right? Okay. Like this. "30 seconds is a long time."
Well, my species presence is changing, yeah.
Now, keeping your eyes closed, just separate them by 3 to 4 inches. Okay?
Yep.
Something happening between your two hands, something little bit,
yes.
whatever that is.
Feel the
Let's not try to define it, describe it, it's an extension of the body. You can extend the body like this. Right now you have heard of phantom legs and things, somebody loses a leg or a hand. Even though the physical leg is gone, they're still experiencing it because in extended body, as there is a physical body, there's an energetic body which can stay intact if the loss of body is very sudden like that. There are tantrics, we should not go here, I'm entering dangerous territory in a university. Why should I commit suicide like this? Let me leave the tantrics alone. So, there are people who can leave their body here and go and do something and again come back. It's called parakaya pravesha. That means you enter something else. This is extension of the body, which is psychic. Extension of the body and mind to do something is a psychic process. What you're talking about, Saint Teresa, that is a spiritual experience, what we people are seeing. Whether she is having a mystical experience or not, nobody will know. She might have, she might not have. But she is definitely, if she is all blissed out, she is having a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to define that.
But what the point I'm making is that from the point of view of extending science, these phenomena are interesting because that you can study these phenomena using the sort of techniques that a scientist would use. You can test for telepathy in a laboratory, you can test for psychokinesis, whether you can affect
because it's all psychic phenomena. Telepathy, telekinesis, whatever other things that people are talking about, this is all psychic phenomena which I am personally not interested in, because that will not in any way rise a human being beyond their limitations.
Exactly.
It will only make them little more competent. It's like if I'm using a bad example again, if I have to kill somebody, I must go there and do something to them. But if I have a gun from here, I can shoot them. This is psychic phenomenon. From here, I can do things. I don't have to go there and do things. So a gun is more efficient than a knife. In UK, still they use knives, that's why I'm saying.
There are a few guns, but mainly knives, yes.
So I'm saying, psychic phenomena is like this, you're extending your psychological and physical forces to do certain things and come back. But this will only at the most give you a little advantage in the world. You will not rise anywhere.
I accept that, but the reason I'm emphasizing that is because in the attempt to expand science to accommodate these phenomena, this is And it's nothing to do with helping somebody become enlightened. But nevertheless, I'm saying it's helpful, it's of interest to me,
yes,
because that's how I can expand science to accommodate these phenomena. It's, if you like, it's part of the way of going towards it, unifying science and spirituality. So even though you say it's not of interest,
I'm saying you don't have to accommodate this. Let's dismiss all the things that I'm saying. Right now, in my opinion, science is looking in the right direction. They have to extend their look. I'm asking, can you build a telescope which will see something which is not physical in nature? That's what you need to do.
And the answer is not with a physical…
With mathematics, I'll come to that. So, because we are talking about time, which I see as the most basic entity, from infinite to zero is manifestation of time. So it's an infinite space because it's a mix of time and space. It's always been like that. Time is the fundamental firmament, space is happening on top of it. Now, beyond this time, which we refer to as a cyclical process, because time as we know it, as we experience it right now, exists only because of cyclical movement. A planet turns a day, moon goes around a month, planet goes around the sun a year. This is our experience of time, and similar cycles are happening in our own bodies and various phenomena in the world. But a time which is not cyclical, which is just a stillness, we call this Mahakala, that means the greater time. There is a particular deity enshrined in central India which used to be the center of time for many millennia before the British came to India and they shifted it to green, which mean time. This was the mean time in the world. Because the maritime travelers from Asia, because that's where it started, this was considered the line of time. This is where the time started. So there they established a particular deity which is called Mahakala. So, let me not go into those things, but essentially things were done so that people can experience something beyond the limitations of their body. Because if you do not cross the limitations of your body, you will not cross the cycles of time in any way. Do what you want. As long as this body is there, you are within the manifestation of the cycle of time. So right now, you're looking the right way. If you can only build a telescope somehow, or the telescope need not necessarily be a physical pipe, if even all these numbers can go there and read something or see something which is non-physical in nature, absolutely non-physical in nature, then science will see what is there. Otherwise, we're looking in the direction, but no eyes.